Torbreck was the first multi-storey residential complex ever built in Queensland. Construction took place in the late 1950s and first residents moved in 1961. The architects were Audrey Jobe and Robert Froud, and they were way ahead of their time. Their work has been recognised over many years, including right up to 2014 when they received the Robin Gibson Award for Enduring Architecture. What a wonderful honour, and what a lovely honour for our building. The name Torbreck means on top of the hill. And of course we are here on 1.5 acres, and we are on top of the hill and can be seen from many parts of Brisbane. It's really an iconic building. During the construction period, many families would go for a Sunday drive and drive right past here, having a look at how the building was progressing. We'd never seen anything like it before. And the complex consists of 2 blocks. The tower block, which is 14 stories of units, and then the garden block, 7 stories. I'm Nola O'Donnell, and I've been a proud Torbreckian since 1996. Some facts about me. I'm a retired person nowadays, very much involved in the community, and love living here at Torbreck. Love the building, love the view, love the lifestyle, and I'm very happy here.
What made you choose Torbreck as your home?
My husband and I were empty nesters. We both worked long hours, and every weekend we would be doing the mowing, the garden, the washing, cleaning the house, and then a lovely dog, Devil, we had to have him put down. And so there we were, just the 2 of us doing all this, and then we had this light bulb moment. Why are we doing all this? So we decided we would look for a unit, and we looked, and we looked, and we looked. We looked at units that were so small. If you put a double bed or a queen-size bed inside the bedroom, no way in the world would you be able to get out either side of it. We saw some units where the view was the wall of the building next door. We saw some that weren't very well built. And after a period of time, we virtually gave up. And then a friend of ours said to us, have you looked at Torbreck? He actually owned a small unit here. We said, Torbreck? Hadn't thought of it. So, of course, we took his advice and came to have a look. We walked in the front door and said, this is what we've been looking for. This is what we've been looking for. And haven't regretted it for one moment since. And every time now when we go away on holidays, we still have exactly that same feel. We walk in the front door, look at the view, look at the unit, look at the building and say, this is fabulous, we love it.
What is your name and how long have you been living at Torbreck for?
So my name is Paul and I'm living in Torbreck for like 1.5 years around. So I'm not one of the oldest people here. Quite of a new one.
What are some things you like about Torbreck?
Another thing which is really good in Torbreck is, so it's oldest high rise in Brisbane and it's been really well made in terms of architecture. It's good material, there's good airflow. I saw many apartments in Torbreck because it's quite community building. And you can see it's really been made by architects, so there's a big thing about the lights, the orientation of the apartment, airflow. It's quite well isolated. So actually really good quality building on the whole environment, and there's the noise you heard now. It's beautiful garden, pool, observatory on the top, and there's a good community when people organize regularly events and stuff, so it's actually good quality of life to be here.
Hi, my name is Mattia and I'm living here since January 2024. I like the building, I like the view, especially from my apartment, because I can see all the city and it's awesome.
Yeah, my name's Laurie, and I've been living here since January last year, so just over a year. Yeah. I think it feels like a village in an apartment building. There's a really nice sense of community. Yeah, we know lots of our neighbors, and we've got a Facebook group so we can say, does someone have a spare egg? Or if people are doing little events, they'll post it. There's a book club here and a little gardening club. So yeah, I think that sense of community and connection is probably what I love most about Torbreck. Yeah.
So there's a lot of new building developments around here, around Torbreck, and they're obviously competing with Torbreck for residents.
Wow. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I've never really been one to like big buildings. Torbreck is the exception because it's older and it's really open, and I think what I love most is the view just of all these trees. And when I think about big buildings in the same area, they don't seem to be designed as robustly as Torbreck. Like when I visited friends in some, like the walls will dent easily. Some of them have gone up really fast, and yeah, they just seem less. Yeah, they don't really seem like inviting places. Yeah.
I hope Torbreck is gonna always win because it's the best building.
So I'm not a big fan of the new modern building, to be honest. Most of them are often really built quite quickly to be sold at a very high price, and when you talk with people who work in construction building, it's the minimum requirement for Australia, so the quality is not that good. There's even no place to store stuff. It's quite, the apartment got no soul. It's very standardized American building. Like, I don't know who wants to live in it, but if you love hotel, I guess that's right. Which is a bit the opposite in Torbreck, when every apartment got their own soul. Most of people are owner here, and people try to keep the how Torbreck has been made, or keep the 60s style, or so it's quite really nice to hear. But the new building will compete here. Will probably, it will be a bit unfair to say that, to say they will break the view, because Torbreck is actually a high-rise building, so it's totally partial. But I think all of the point in Highgate Hill is still quite a lot of well-preserved Queenslander houses, a bit like in West End, before they built the building by the river. And the point to be in the hill is that you can see, and there is a lot of new building will obstruct the view. Probably the same concern when Torbreck has been built. But if you talk about the big black building behind here, for 90% of the people I talk around, everyone hates this building. They call it the Death Star, or everyone's got a name for it. And it's supposed to be eco and not too bad, apparently. But everyone just sits in the middle, like, oh, it's just like an ugly mole in the middle of it. When people are more or less attached to Torbreck, but people are mostly indifferent if they don't know Torbreck, or they find it quite cool. That's a bit old building. We got a retro style. So I'm thinking this new building will be quite modern. We just break the atmosphere the same as the big black one. Like, instead of having old Queenslander houses or old building, you will have something modern and new which didn't fit the environment. So not a big fan of that.
I think some of those differences are what makes Torbreck so appealing. It's a very warm building. It's not cold. It's not all stainless steel. It's not all sterile. It has warmth in its bones. It's a very iconic building. It's unique. We're the only building of its kind in Queensland, possibly even in Australia. I'm not really sure about that. So I know it doesn't appeal to a lot of younger people. We do have young people. We have all sorts of people living here, all age groups, all families, all singles, all pale people. The building itself, even though it's old, It has been very, very well maintained. It was built so strongly in the first place, but the bones of the building are brilliant. We have windows that are floor to ceiling. There was no such thing. And they're cyclone proof. Who ever heard of that back in the 1950s? But that's how the forward thinking happened. And I think that the strength of the building, the strength of living here, the building, the community itself is a very, very strong community. And I think that makes it far more than just a place to live. It has that warmth. But we residents living here now, we have a responsibility to keep that community feel going, because that's part of what sets Torbreck alive. We have people that move in here that lived in other apartment blocks, and they're amazed when someone talks to them in the lift. That never happened before. And they comment, the next time you see them, they're talking to people in the lift. Little things that just make a community rather than just a place to live. It's a home for all of us.